Hello and welcome in part 2. Students, we are learning our poem 3.3 Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. In this part, we are discussing about the meaning of the poem and the appreciation of the poem. So first of all, we are discussing about the meaning. I am reading the first 4 lines of the poem. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. Students, in this poem, there is a speaker, there is a traveler who is traveling with his little horse, and he is speaking with us. The speaker is telling us that when he was passing, he met a wood or a little forest, and he know that whose woods those are, and the owner of the woods was living in the village. The speaker is telling us that the evening was winter evening and the snow was falling down, and so that the woods are filled up with the snow, and the speaker is so fascinated of these snow filled woods that he stopped there to watch the woods. But the owner can't see the speaker. The tranquility, that peace of mind the speaker found in here in the forest. विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो, कवितेच्या पहिल्या 4 ओळीमध्ये जो वक्ता आहे, जो बोलणार आहे किंवा जो कवी आहे, तो आपल्याला असं म्हणत आहे की मी छोट्याशा जंगलातून चाललेलो आहे आणि हे जंगल कोणाच्या मालकीचं आहे हे मला माहित आहे, आणि तो शेजारच्या छोट्याशा गावामध्ये राहतो. आणि हे जे जंगल आहे ते जंगल हे पूर्णपणे बर्फाने व्यापलेलं आहे. त्यामुळं तुम्ही सुद्धा कल्पना करू शकता की जंगलाचा रंग बदलून तो शुभ्र पांढरा झालेला आहे. आणि या सर्व गोष्टींमध्ये जंगलाचं जे अभूतपूर्व सौंदर्य आहे किंवा जंगलामध्ये असलेली जी काही शांतता आहे, त्या शांततेमुळे लेखक तिथं थांबलेला आहे. आणि या सर्व गोष्टींपासून त्या जंगलाचा मालक हा अनभिज्ञ आहे. Students, here we can cover our 2 marginal questions. Which are those questions? Where has the poet stopped? The answer is very simple. Poet has stopped in the woods. Second one, what season of the year is described here? Very easy. We can guess that the wood is filled up with the snow, so that it must be the wintry season. So the answer is winter is described here in the poem. Students, now we are going to discussing about the second stanza. What is the second stanza? Listen carefully. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near. Between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. Students, the speaker is saying that his little horse got disturbed here because his master is stopping at the place between the frozen lake and the woods, where there is not a routine stop or where there was not a routine farmhouse. And that was the darkest evening of the year, and the wood was obviously full of the dark. विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो, कवितेमध्ये दुसऱ्या कडव्यात कवी असं म्हणतो की ती संध्याकाळ म्हणजे वर्षातली सगळ्यात काळोखी अशी आणि मोठी रात्र होते, आणि त्यामुळे हा जो काळा अंधार आहे, या अंधाराने संपूर्ण सरोवराला व्यापलेलं आहे, संपूर्ण जंगलाला सुद्धा व्यापून टाकलेलं आहे. त्यामुळे आणि आजूबाजूला कुठेही शेतघर किंवा फार्म हाऊस नाहीये आणि तरीही आपला मालक या ठिकाणी का थांबला असेल बरं, याचा आश्चर्य त्या घोड्याला वाटतंय. द हॉर्स who belongs to the owner or who belongs to the traveler. Student, you can notice here one figure of speech personification in the first line of the second stanza. The little horse must think it queer. Thinking is a human quality and it is given to the horse here so that this line shows personification. One more thing about the symbolism. Symbolism म्हणजे कवीनं कवितेमध्ये प्रतिकात्मक रूपांची केलेली योजना. Here you have to understand the symbolism of the poem. मराठीमध्ये सुद्धा अनेक कवितांमध्ये प्रतिकांची रचना केलेली असते. जसे की एखाद्या व्यक्तीच्या जीवनातले त्याचे बालपण किंवा त्याचे सुरुवातीचे दिवस आहेत हे सांगण्यासाठी म्हणून दिवसामधल्या पहाटेची वेळ किंवा सकाळची वेळ त्याच्याशी जोडलेली असते. म्हणजे एखाद्या माणसाच्या जीवनातली सकाळ म्हणजे त्याचं बालपण, अशी प्रतिकात्मक योजना केलेली असते. सो इन दिस पोएम देअर आर सम सिम्बॉलिझम वी कॅन फाउंड. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, डार्केस्ट इव्हिनिंग. डार्केस्ट इव्हिनिंग मधून आपल्याला काय समजतं बरं, तर द एव्हर लास्टिंग पीस म्हणजे न संपणारी शांतता. आणि अशा शांततेच्या शोधात माणूस नेहमी असतो. आजूबाजूच्या गोंधळामधून, त्याच्या नेहमीच्या कामांमधून अशी शांतता त्याला मिळत नाही आणि या शांततेच्या शोधात अनादिकालापासून माणूस असतो, असं या ठिकाणी कवीला सांगायचंय. One more example about the symbolism is snowy evening. Snowy evening मधून कवीला माणसाच्या म्हातारपणाबद्दल म्हणजेच ओल्ड एज बद्दल कवीला सांगायचंय. ठीक आहे, तर अशा प्रकारे या कवितेचा अभ्यास करत असताना त्यातलं सिम्बॉलिझम म्हणजे प्रतिकात्मक रूपे त्यात कोणती आहेत हे पण तुम्ही समजून घ्या. स्टुडंट्स, हिअर वी हॅव टू कव्हर one more marginal question, that is, on what date every year is the darkest evening? And the answer is 21st December. So students, we also found question number 3 in English workshop which covers the symbolism, and you can solve this question in a well manner because of our discussion of symbolism. Students, let us move to our third stanza. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sound the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. Students, here the poet is saying that the wood is full of silence. Only few sounds are there in the wood. The sound of blowing wind is there. Snowflakes are falling and that soft voice is also there. One more interesting sound is there. Sound of harness bells of horse. The horse is shaking his head. He wants to convey to his master that he was doing some mistake. विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो, या कडव्यामध्ये आपल्याला असं लक्षात येतं की जंगलामध्ये सगळीकडे अतिशय शांतता आहे आणि त्यामुळेच फक्त काही ठराविक आवाज लक्षात येत आहेत. जसे की वाहणारा वारा आहे, त्या वाऱ्याचा आवाज येतोय. तिथं होणारा जो हिमवर्षाव आहे त्याचा सॉफ्ट म्हणजे अतिशय कोमल नकळत असा आवाज येतोय. त्याचप्रमाणे त्या ट्रॅव्हलरचा, त्या प्रवाशाचा जो घोडा आहे, तो घोडा आपलं डोकं हलवून आपल्या मालकाला सांगतोय आणि ते डोकं हलवल्यानंतर त्याच्या गळ्यात बांधलेली जी घंटा आहे ती वाजतीये. त्या बेल ज्या आहेत त्या वाजतायत. जणू काही त्या घोड्याला आपल्या मालकाला सांगायचंय की तुझं काही चुकत तर नाही ना. म्हणजे एवढ्या भर रात्री या जंगलाच्या मध्ये आपण का थांबलोय ही आपल्या मालकाची चूक तर लक्षात आणून द्यायची नाहीये ना घोड्याला. इथे तुम्हाला मराठीमध्ये आणि इंग्लिश मधला या कडव्याचा अर्थ समजला असेल मुलांना. We can cover here one more marginal question. There is a question that lists the sounds mentioned in the poem. We have already discussed about the three various sounds which are covered in this stanza. You can write the answer. Students, let us see what is the meaning of last stanza. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep. And miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. The traveler with his horse is really captivated by the lonely, dark and deep woods and the beauty of the nature. He do not want to move forward. He do not want to leave the wood. But his duties reminds him that he must discharge his duties before it is too late. विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो, या ठिकाणी चारही ओळींचा अर्थ तुम्ही लक्षात घ्या. जंगलाचे जे सौंदर्य आहे, जंगलामध्ये असलेली जी नीरव शांतता आहे, ती शांतता सौंदर्य कवीला खूप आवडलेलं आहे आणि त्याला हे जंगल सोडावंसच वाटत नाहीये. पण त्याच वेळेला त्याला त्याची कर्तव्य आठवतात आणि तो आपल्या अंतर्मनाला सांगतो की आपलं कर्तव्य पूर्ण करण्यासाठी, आपल्या जबाबदाऱ्या पार पाडण्यासाठी आपल्याला आता इथून पुढे गेलंच पाहिजे. म्हणजेच काय, माणसाला निसर्गाची, नैसर्गिक सौंदर्याची आवड असते, पण त्याच्या कर्तव्याशी मात्र तो त्याच वेळेला बांधला गेलेला असतो. स्टुडंट्स, यू कॅन ऑब्झर्व दॅट last two lines are repeated. And miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Here, the figure of speech repetition take place. One more figure of speech is there, which is alliteration, which happens in the first lines, which occurs in the first line. The woods are lovely, dark and deep. Here, the sound T is repeated. So, you can see that alliteration is there. One more thing about the symbolism. The symbolism is there in the last two lines, students. There is a word slip and it symbolizes the death. Means the speaker has to do all the things, has to complete all the duties before the death. या ठिकाणी स्लीप म्हणजे झोप असा शब्दशः अर्थ न घेता मृत्यू या प्रतिकात्मक गोष्टीशी त्याचा संबंध जोडण्याचा प्रयत्न कवीने केलेला आहे. म्हणजेच मृत्यू ही एक अटळ गोष्ट माणसाच्या जीवनात असते आणि या मृत्यूपूर्वी कवीला आपली सर्व कर्तव्य ही पार पाडलीच पाहिजेत आणि दुसऱ्या कोणत्याही गोष्टीकडे आकर्षित न होता त्याला आपली कर्तव्य पूर्ण केली पाहिजेत असं तो स्वतःच्या अंतर्मनाला सांगतो आणि आपल्याला पुढील प्रवास केलाच पाहिजे. या जंगलातून आपण आता पुढे गेलंच पाहिजे असंही तो स्वतःला बजावतो. स्टुडंट्स, हियर आय थिंक यू कॅन गेट all the meaning of stanzas in a well manner. So students, let us start the discussion of poem appreciation. As per our knowledge, there are 5 points which we have to cover in poem appreciation. First of all, the title of the poem. Secondly, the poet of the poem. Then the third point must be the rhyme scheme. Then figure of speech, and last point is of the central idea or about the theme of the poem. So let us start the discussion accordingly our poem. Title. The title of the poem is stopping by the woods on a snowy evening. Poet. The poet of this poem is Robert Frost. Third point is rhyme scheme. For 3 stanzas, AABA is the scheme. For example, in the first stanza, the last words no, though, snow goes as rhyming words. In the second stanza, cure, near, then ear goes as rhyming words. In the third stanza, shake, mistake, flick goes as rhyming words. The words of third stanza, the words of third line of every stanza goes as rhyming words for each other. For example, here rhymes with near, sweep rhymes with sleep. Students, in the fourth stanza, we can see another rhyme scheme. There is a rhyme scheme AAAA because deep, keep and sleep are the rhyming words. Let us turn to our next point, figure of speeches. Basically, you have to write the names of the figure of speeches. You should write at least 2 names of figure of speeches which take places in the particular poem. Now let us turn to our poem. It is essential to write at least 2 figure of speeches so that, as per we discussed in the first stanza, there are 4 figure of speeches: inversion, alliteration, personification and repetition. Whose woods these are, I think I know. In this line, we can see the inversion because the word order is not proper. The proper word order is I think I know whose woods these are. The woods are lovely, dark and deep. In this line, we can see that the sound D is repeated. D, D, dark, deep. So, we can found the alliteration in this line. And miles to go before I sleep and miles to go before I sleep. In these 2 lines, we found repetition because the whole line is repeated. And my little horse must think it cure. In this line, we can found the personification because the thinking quality of humans is given to an animal, so that here we can see that personification take place. But students, remember, in the examination you have to write the names only. Let us move to our last point, the central idea or the theme of the poem. What is the theme of this poem? Listen properly. The theme of the poem is that a traveler on horseback stops by a little forest in a winter evening. The wood is looking calm, dark and beautiful. So the poet wants to stop there but finally moves forward. Why? To complete his all duties and his all work. Means one should not distract in his life from his goals. Students, here we completed all our points of poem appreciation. I hope you understand the meaning and the appreciation of the poem in this part. So, be a friend of the poem. Try to revise all the meaning and the appreciation. At last, bye bye and thank you.